Hello everyone, and welcome to Count Camarx's Let's Play of Austria in Eu4 Ironman, with all of its DLCs. This is by far my most favorite nation in the game, as unlike with many other nations that expand via conquest, this nation primarily expands via diplomacy. A bit of backstory. We are one of the few nations in which we do not start off playing our actual king, but instead we play as his regent, which inexplicably lasts until he dies, even if he's still alive while our actual ruler is in his 30s. Meanwhile, our neighbors have been killed off in a great civil war, leaving our bloodline given the right to rule in Bohemia and Hungary too, if we find ourselves in the proper position to press our claims. I'm going to start off the game rivaling France, Ottomans, and Denmark, while giving a royal marriage to Bohemia in an attempt to siege the throne. Also, I'm going to ally Spain, as they will become probably my best ally throughout the game. Maybe soon I'll rule their throne too. I'm also going to split up my fleets in order to attempt to sell them off, because I won't be needing a fleet. I'm also going to destroy a few forts, mothball them, reduce my maintenance down since I'm not going to get into wars too early on, and I want to min-max all my ducats. I'm hiring the weakest advisors possible, even though for 1 ducat a month more I could easily get a level 2 advisor, because I start off with a lot of level 2 advisors for 50% off. I'm going for the economic game currently. It might have been a better idea to go for the level 2 advisor, but yeah, this is what I chose, so I have to deal with it. I'm also going to increase my production in Tyrol so I can get more gold income. I see I have 2.61. Once I increase it, I have 3.26. And when I get more diplomatic points, I will further develop that province more to get even more gold income. Here I'm thinking about getting a advisor from one of my estates, but I decide against it as I already hired my own advisors. I do always recommend though going to the burgers and before hitting play, request ducats, or I forget whatever, request funds for 10 loyalty, as there's no point in not doing it really. And for some reason I find after you hit play, the amount of ducats you get upon doing that action decreases for some reason. As you see here, a bunch of people want to ally me, as I am the ruler of the Holy Roman Empire. This talk is the voiceover I'm doing right now, as you can probably tell, is not live. I'm talking over a recording, as I just find it easier to do. I don't really like to talk much when I'm playing. Maybe in the future I'll get used to it, but yeah, this is just be having fun. Finally get that royal marriage in with Spain. Saxony wants to ally me. I'm debating. Usually Saxony and Brandenburg like to rival each other. In this playthrough they did not, so I decided to ally them both. Here I'm gonna see, or finally find out Poland actually rivaled me, which is very unfortunate, as I do want to get them as a friend, because you'll see here in the future they actually turn into a elective monarchy in which I can try to get a Habsburg elected onto the throne, and they'd make a very great ally. And then once they turn into the Commonwealth, I'd be able to claim the throne and get Poland, Lithuania as a personal union. As you can see here, I'm selling all my ships. Venice probably won't buy any ships because they're rivaled, or they don't like me. Actually, they haven't rivaled me yet, so I'm not sure. Hitting play every time because I need a diplomat. Think about selling ships, it devours your diplomats. Sell them to Byzantium. That event, which I probably should let you guys read, it's the Shadow Kingdom. Basically, if I don't conquer certain provinces in Italy by a certain year, all of Italy will leave the Holy Roman Empire, greatly weakening the power of the emperor, which is ourselves. Here we go. Have enough. So 3.28 booted up, 3.94. So a lot of income bonus from just a few Diplo points. Salzburg. I am strongly, it's a bit hesitant on making a spy network in Salzburg. It does eat a diplomat where I could be using him to instead improve relations. I do want a spy network in Bohemia because if I go to war and claim the throne, I'm going to need that spy network to increase or make it faster when I try to siege their forts. Siege their forts faster is what I'm trying to say. I think that was me looking at Venice, noticing Venice was allied to Savoy, which Savoy is pretty strong. And then I apparently just never realized that Savoy had a vassal. I don't know how new that is. I'm like, oh, they have a vassal. Surrender of Maine. This is very, very interesting and kind of silly of the AI. For England, basically, so backstory here. This is currently in the and we're back. So what exactly happened there is for some reason all my map mode key bindings got reset. I tried using the Roomba's 1.25 patch key bindings in the Steam Workshop page, and for some reason they just reset all my key bindings. So at least here I'm going to be able to show you how exactly to set your own key bindings. So you right click any one of the bindings, and then you can add other map modes. Hit the button a second time or multiple times, it'll cycle through them. Here I don't make it perfect, but I just make it playable for now. I'm not sure why you even need an unrest map mode. I guess might as well put it there. I think I put something queued. Nope. So I'm gonna have to go through probably some of my earlier recordings and try to find out what my bindings were originally. I was like, does this feel right? I know my fort level I put on trade. So here's a trick that I kind of learned. If you right click a nation and stare at their king will almost never die unless he's just extremely old. Kind of like a watched pot won't boil. So kind of a way around that, if you mouse over your own king, it will tell you if any other nations have the same family as you do. Here I'm just looking at the Civil War, 100 Years War, where usually England decides to cede Maine, but he can choose not to, but he will attack France. He will enter an offensive war against France, and France will be the defender. Here we go. I got extremely lucky. Bohemia actually got my ruler, so here I put maintenance all the way up. I decided to make a template. Is that what I put in the template? Interesting. I didn't realize I put mercenaries in that template. But it's all good. I need mercenaries anyways. Did I start the war? No, I'm just getting ready. I'm hiring troops and letting my morale tick up so I don't start the war with 0 morale, which is kind of risky because an event can happen that kicks whatever ruler they currently have off their throne and puts in a Podebrad, I think it is. That might... it's Podebrad. I do lose stability because I declare war against someone who I have a marriage with, which reduces stability. I instantly buy it back and put it up +1. Probably not the best move, as that does delay getting churches, and churches are one of the most powerful buildings there. I can up my gold, so production in Tyrol, so now I have even more gold. I debate increasing the development in wine. I didn't go for it. Anyways, here we go. I'm going to split my army to 2 because they're close enough together. That's fine. I put my general in there that I got from my nobility estates. And, oh yeah, I called them Brandenburg, so I promised them peace. I was probably talking about something else. That state that directly borders Brandenburg right there is in technically Brandenburg's duchy. I call them duchies because they're kind of like duchies from CK2, where they're from like between 2 to 5 provinces or counties. And with this game, they call them states. It's technically in a Brandenburg states, and it's only 7 development. So I'm fully willing to lose 7 development of vassal or personal unions in order to stay allied with Brandenburg. Because I can possibly get Brandenburg in my personal union circle, and then I'd have 2 electors, which almost solidifies my stay within the Holy Roman Empire. Here I'm trying to tell Brandenburg to go after Bohemia's allies so we can piece them out, so we can focus on Brandenburg and not have to deal with their armies, because OPM armies are super annoying. They're super strong for how little development they have. But Brandenburg just doesn't want to listen. He's like, no, I'm going to siege right here. I'll stay right here and do nothing else. Anyways, I'm going to fast forward a bit, tell some guessing. And here we are literally 2 months later. Here we got... repeat. We have here Bohemia, a battle against Bohemia in which we annihilate them. We actually took equal losses, but the thing is, we have a lot more manpower than they do, so even in a technically even, like, well, okay, we actually didn't lose even. We lost even manpower, but they lost like a third of their army worth of cav, where we didn't lose any cav, and cav is almost twice as expensive to replenish than infantry. Might be more than twice. I feel like it's less than twice. I feel like the recruitment cost of cav is like 2.5 times more, but the upkeep is not 2.5 times more, which is kind of interesting. Anyways, we're just gonna basically continue to siege now. With the army broke, they are completely done for. And here we return. I managed to find Bohemia's army, or rather was left of it, near Trier. We lost our claim because they finally got an air, which didn't matter because battle started where we won. And especially here, I managed to shatter their army. If you... Alright, so battles. Let me explain battles real quick. There's 2 phases. There's a fire and shock phase. Fire is always first because you start at a distance, and each phase lasts 7 days. And if you manage to defeat an army before a fire, shock, then a fire, then a shock phase, so 4 weeks, about a month, you will shatter them completely. They'll instantly rout. There'll be, well, not a shattered retreat. Shattered retreat is when you're can't engage combat until you land at your specific location. If you defeat an army in 4 weeks, then they just get demolished. They get stack wiped, is the proper term. So in my second play, Bohemia allied Lüneburg and Brunswick, which Brunswick was actually somewhat of a pain to deal with. So I kept trying to siege Brunswick. I was like, why can't I siege them? Oh, because they have not Anhalt, but Marienburg instead. Pretty sure it's Marienburg. No, Marienburg is up on us. Who is this guy? I'll find out later. Anyways, I'm going to continue carpet sieging. Bohemia is going to get into a ton of debt, having to raise a whole new army, likely with mercenaries, which is going to be very expensive. Lüneburg and... Can I say... Is it Marienburg? Yeah, that is Marienburg. I was thinking Brunswick. Brunswick is up north by the Hanseatic League. Yes, that is Marienburg. I was right all along. Here I'm debating going in to attack... try to stack my Bohemia again. Ended up doing another battle with my ally Brandenburg by my side. But then Brandenburg tries to counterattack me, so I rush to defend, but I fully reinforce, so he decides to not go for the kill. Here I am just kind of mixing my men, trying to keep Bohemia away. Unfortunately, they are sieging my land, which, no significance as long as they don't get my fort. That's all that really matters. Here I find him. He's not locked to move it yet, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to reinforce with tiny little armies. I don't want them to retreat. If you get more than halfway into a province, you are locked into that siege. Unfortunately, we abandoned our Prague siege. Or is that Prague or is it Praha or something? I'm gonna butcher all these names, I guarantee it. Here I'm gonna spam just more events I don't really care about. They do river crossing into hills. They have a -2 on the roll, so of course we win. Of course. And now with really their army mopped up, it's just a matter of sieging. Fortunately I missed that 10 stack. That would have been nice to get here. I'm like, hey Brandenburg, just siege for me, please. I'm sieging these 2 forts, at least you can do 1. Here I'm like, oh, why is Ansbach in the war? Because they got a personal union with Bohemia. I don't know why. About in half of my games, I don't know if some sort of event. Oh my god, Hungary has a 666 as a king. I just noticed right now. I guarantee you I did not notice that in my actual gameplay footage playthrough. Anyways, I was saying Ansbach. I feel like there's some kind of event. I'll probably look that up later, where Brandenburg just randomly gets Ansbach as a PU, because I feel like in too many of my games, Brandenburg gets Ansbach as a PU. It's never anyone else, I feel. Here I'm kind of in this awkward stage where I'm gonna get massively attacked by a ton of numbers. I'm like, can you reinforce? Can you reinforce? I don't want to stop sieging you, because, like, I need you to siege stuff. And you're probably not going to make any time anyways. We're getting really down to the wire. Fortunately, I get a giant bit of reinforcements, and bam, gone. Get a whole lot of army tradition from that, but of course, a lot of manpower losses too. But actually, not that many, because I do have a lot of mercenaries. And I'm like, okay guys, relax. Okay guys, why are you still sieging? And actually, that's me checking for all my mercenaries are. I was like, why do I only have 2 mercenaries down here? So they're all up north. Select mercenaries because they're really expensive, and I try to keep them down. Like during peacetime, I'll have 2 just to have them, just so they're prepared and ready. Avoid the recruitment cost if I get into an unexpected war. But during wartime, I try to have like 4 or so. Here I am just carpet sieging. I'm gonna fast forward until something interesting happens. Seize me. And now, finally, for the peace deal. Nothing really happened that was too exciting. Actually, I got really lucky. Here, I transfer that state I was talking about earlier to Brandenburg, and notice that there's still a thumbs down. If I give them this fort, they say that they provided 43% of the contribution. I'm not sure how, but they got the number, but I think so. Reduce their trust by 14. They're already going to break my alliance if I give them that land. So I'm debating, how about I just, if I give them like 2 pieces of land, but then I thought, you know, forcing the union upon Bohemia already takes a whole 83%. So by giving them 2 pieces of land, like, that's not possible in the percentages. So I'm like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna take everything. Well, take gold. Unfortunately, I can't do warps. Maybe no. That'd be silly if I'd be able to do warps. So I did gold. I only got about half of the gold because it's Bohemia, Brandenburg. The two B's gonna get them mixed up a lot. They said that they provided 43% of the war participation, so they got 43% of the ducats I extorted out of Bohemia. Here I noticed that. No, okay. I thought I was got Hungary. The heir to Hungary is a von Habsburg, which usually means a good event will happen. It's kind of 50-50 either way. Like in most of my playthroughs of Austria, which I've done a lot of playthroughs of Austria because they're just my favorite nation to play. Their alliance is breaking because of the trust. 30 trust. Because I didn't give them enough land, which, you know, having 36, they're still gonna hate me anyways, so, oh well. Guess gonna lose that alliance. Boo-hoo. I mean, it is unfortunate because they are an elector, and not having them ally reduces my chance of getting 3 votes. It just really secures it. 4 makes it impossible to lose. There's no point of going above 4 since there's only 7 electors, so having 4 majority, there's no benefit in having more. 3 just makes it really safe. It's not impossible to lose it with 3 if all the other 4 just really want someone else, which is really rare. 2's not bad, but you definitely want more than 1. Oh yes, I was talking about Hungary. I noticed that they had a von Habsburg heir, which could mean some really good stuff. Here I fabricate a claim, get Salzburg, and decide to take it. Usually I play pretty passively, so think about the Holy Roman Empire. As you see in the top right there, that you have reforms, and the more princes, you see you have 58 princes, the more princes you have in the empire, the more imperial authority you get, and you need at least 50 imperial authority to do a reform, and once you do a reform, you lose all of your imperial authority. Each reform, you have to go in a certain order from top to bottom. Each reform is harder than the next, but having over 50 imperial authority helps convince more princes to vote for reform, because at least half or more than half of the princes have to support the reform for you to be able to do it, and if they don't like you, they will vote no. There is no abstaining, it's either yes or no. Here I notice I consider paying off Bohemia's debt, but at the same time, nah, just let them deal with it. They have a lot of income. For income return, it's not bad. I will spend 1.1 ducat per month in order to make them loyal, because while they're disloyal, they're not going to go out and attack. They're going to stay at their home and sometimes just let people invade them and not contest it at all. So by spending a little bit of ducats, they have their whole army out there. Some good events happening, I really just cycle through it. Brandenburg finally breaking that alliance. One of the events was my province over there on the left getting siege. Yeah, I'm just looking at the reasons. Everyone's voting for Saxony. I'm like, guys, please stop. It's not funny. Because I need Saxony to vote for me, and if someone else is voting for Saxony, then they're going to vote for themselves. Clergy losing influence. I look at my estates. 39 is pretty low. I consider doing something else, but there's nothing really to do. Well, actually, seek support of the clergy would give them more influence, because I need 40 influence in order to do the bottom 2 things. I'm not sure if I do it or not. Oh yes, I actually want to do it because I want admin points, so I do that. Debate getting one or the other. I think I go with Minister. In retrospect from watching, I could have gotten with Inquisitor. Yeah, 50-50. Anyways, I get those admin points. I try to get the influence as high as possible because there are certain breakpoints. I wanted to get 75 influence, but that was possible without exceeding 80. Because, okay, so If they're above 25 influence, then you get 50 of the respective points. For clergy, it's admin. So going above 50% influence will give you 100. Going above 75 influence will give you 150. You don't want to do 100 because then a disaster would occur, or would occur like very rapidly, and you have to like get rid of all their land, take all the land away from the clergy in order for them to not do things or make a disaster happen. Unfortunately, I do get stacked wiped here at Salzburg. It's kind of annoying, but only through infantry is not too horrible. So here's my retribution. Attacking them, cross river into mountains. Don't care, just speed 5 it. Roll the 0 to their 1, how hilarious. Then here I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Free stability. Lost the war, lost 2 war score, but it's no matter. I told Bohemia to focus on sieging, so that's exactly what they're doing. Here I'm trying to reinforce my army, because now it's so small. I have 16 regiments and it's only like 10,000 strong. I forget I do have this army right here. I'm like, oh crap, I should have supported it. My main force with that guy, but then again, who's to say? I shouldn't have attacked Salzburg in the first place anyways. I'm just leaving my army there because they replenish faster while they're actually in your territory. Here I notice the Palatinate have had 2 of their 3 provinces siege, so I'm like, maybe they'll peace out. And then I'm like, yep, they requested peace. I'm just gonna do it. War operations, tickets, all mine. And a good thing about having a kind of a, I want to say a bitch PU is, in wars, their war participation counts as yours, so they're better than a free alliance because they won't steal any of your ducats during the peace deal. It all goes to you. Siege of Ulm ends. And the funny thing, okay, so we have 7k and 7k up there, but just by sieging Ulm, I managed to just cut their army down to nothing. And there's Bohemia sieging there. Notice I can. Is that an idea or attack? It's attack. Oh, it's innovativeness that was going down. There, take temples. Temples are so powerful. 26, 20, 17, 16, another 16. So many ducats from those temples. Here, even take a loan. It is definitely worth taking at least 1 to 3 loans, depending what multiple of 100 you can get. Here, taking another 2 loans for another building. Probably not worth it because it'd leave me with like no ducats. That being said, I have no ducats right now, but at least my income's positive. Here I disable support and loyalists to increase my income even more, which does raise their liberty desire above 50%. So I do send all my troops to Salzburg. Oh, then I'm like, yeah, they're not leaving. I was afraid that they were going to leave because since their liberty desire is above 50, they could just go home and say fuck this. But no, they're staying. They're just. I did not expect them to do. Oh, actually, is that them leaving there? No, that's just 1k. It's just them recording more stuff. Then I'm like, why is Serbia and Hungary? Is Hungary getting their ass kicked by Serbia? It's like, no, there's a war against Venice. I'm like, oh shit, there's a war against Venice with as I'll soon find out, the Ottomans. I think the Ottomans declared war on one of Venice's ally, and Venice is like, we got you, fam. There I am, turning my forts off because it's safe. I'm getting ready for my war. I'm like, oh, I forgot to keep my troops on maintenance. I might as well drill them, right? I don't really think drilling is worth it. Like, if you really want, drilling in the early game is worth it. Definitely not the late game though. Because having to spend full maintenance on armies while at peace isn't worth it unless you're just floating in cash and have like no manpower. Fabricating claims. This episode's kind of getting long, so I'll call it here. Thank you very much for watching episode 1 of my Ironman Eu4 Austria Let's Play, and hope to see you in the future. Bye for now.